Commander game. I think that's one, to just to point out where he's playing extremely well, itemizing correctly. Just some top-notch stuff coming up from him.
We'll see what ends up being banned if it is this Legion Commander or anything else, because we got a draft already set up for you guys for this first BO3. Mars being banned out by SAG, Phoenix and Centaur. We've already had a handful of teams compete against each other. And Sparking Arrow Gaming versus Elephant, the two teams that only had one series, will be what we're covering today, the one BO3 of today. I'm your host, Tsunami, and I am joined by Lacoste and Lizard to help guide me through just this one series, but it's a series that we haven't seen too much of either of these teams yet. RNG and eHome, they each had two series of pop. They both split their series, but Elephant came out swinging in their one series versus eHome, 2-0ing. And Sparking Arrow Gaming leaving some to be desired versus RNG. So, Lacoste, which one, do you think that Elephant matched expectations for you, or are you still seeing more growth potential for them?
No, they definitely look like a different team compared to Season 1. Season 2, I think everyone is on point, everyone feels much more comfortable playing each other. If I had to pick someone who's not on those high expectations that everyone expect them to be at, it's Somnus coming up from the mid lane. Everyone else, it feels like a completely different team, compared to the Season 1, where they were like, what's going on with this team? You think maybe the next series, maybe the next game, they will be able to win it. Never happened. But this time around, they seem much more stable with the addition of course, ROTK. The team feels much more, I think, I'm going to call it comfortable, secure about what they're doing in the game, rotation-wise, the picks. Everything seems on point. I think if they continue to play like this, they're going to go to the major.
Yeah, normally I'd say that's a bit preemptive after one
Sure.
series, but I saw a part of them in last season, and same thing happened for me. I was just like, well, next series they'll probably pull it together, right? And they started strong in season 1 as well, but it just wasn't really inspiring enough. And we can take a look at all of the teams in upper division and lower division with these standings. As we said earlier, in upper division, Elephant and Sparking Arrow Gaming only played one series in week number 1. eHome and RNG played 2 series each, splitting both of them. But Sparking Arrow Gaming definitely, as we mentioned in week 1, they were the lower division promotion. Same thing with Royal Never Give Up. And so expectations aren't particularly high for them. We're mainly just looking to see how much experience they can get. But Elephant has incredibly high expectations. They had them last season, and now with ROTK coaching them, it's higher than ever before.
Yeah, this isn't really a hiccup that they can allow themselves to happen. They need to take it seriously. Because of the morale, because of the shape they're in, because of the first season as well. Also a reminder, they did pretty well against eHome in the first season. So we don't really know a lot about them and their shape right now, but they're looking much better than
They
the
look,
first one.
I'd say they look very crisp, Like, you can just feel the difference compared to Season 1, how they played. Like, it's just, I'd say, like, Eurus feels much more stable. For me, from what I've seen so far, it's just like Yang is a different type of a player. He feels much more comfortable playing the offlane, like his game against eHome. The Legion Commander game, I think that's one, to point out where he's playing extremely well, itemizing correctly. Just some top-notch stuff coming out from him.
Well, we see what ends up being banned if it is this Legion Commander or anything else, because we got a draft already set up for you guys for this first BO3. Mars being banned out by SAG, Phoenix and Centaur being banned out by Elephant.
And we have the heroes that are currently on the rise being banned out by Elephant. That's the Centaur and the Phoenix. It's something that SAG has played. So in both of the games that we have watched so far in the first division, they have played that Phoenix. And it wasn't really the problem. The Phoenix played well. The draft overall was solid for them. The overall issues that they had were the execution, just not playing as fast as they should be playing versus a team that was supposed to be their own caliber. It was Division 2 teams. Right?
Last 4 games, Sparking Arrow Gaming, they opened up with the Phoenix every single time. This time around, Elephant says, well, you're not going to get it. They feel comfortable playing the hero, so they're just going to ban it out. Also, to point something out, they lost to Shenzhen and the Digital Gaming and I-League, so these are like not really teams that you heard of.
Yeah.
So it's not a good sign for Sparking Arrow Gaming coming into this matchup.
They have these LBCS or Magma vibes from the first season. We got one team that definitely deserves to be in the first division, that's RNG, and you can feel it. However, SAG, they might be bullied a little bit, especially in this series, because Elephant, they need this stepping stone. They need someone to crush so that they have this good start after eHome.
And also we were... Wow, Faceless Void first pick?
Wow. Like, I've heard some stories about Faceless Void being position 5. And when he's paired up with the Snapfire, it's a ton of damage. They go with the Doom, so they have a Grimstroke combination, double Doom on 2 heroes. That's always going to be strong. You just need to have a good chasing potential. Grimstroke Inkswell will going to give them that, but I would love to see, a mid laner with a really good catch.
I just you heard stories. I've experienced.
You experienced
them.
the stories? How was
felt
it?
the position 5 Void. Versus me, he lost. With me, he lost. So I don't really know. It felt pretty terrible on 5. However, this combination of Void and Snapfire literally is in the meta since Snapfire got in, right? Like,
sure.
Since we've released this hero, Void Chronosphere sets up that Mortimer's Kiss really, really easily. But now you're playing versus Phantom's Embrace, versus Soulbind, then versus Doom. And it's not an easy game for a Void, especially with the new buffs that Doom got directly in and indirectly. You can go for a Vanguard very early on Doom. In this game, Hood is maybe even an option, but the laning stage itself should be very, very easy for Elephant on this lane in particular.
Why go for the Faceless Void in the first phase as a first pick? There's no way that Elephant haven't seen 5 position Void, so I don't really think it's like a flex.
No answer. Go with the next one. No, I really have no idea why would you open up with the Faceless Void. Faceless Void got buffs. I think he is an okay hero right now. I don't think he's like top tier carry compared to some other carries at the moment. We still don't know like which lane he's gonna go to. What I like about the Snapfire, I've tried his build already multiple times. I've seen it people play it as well. Max Lil Shredder. With the Blightstone, it's -8 armor, level 1. It's so much damage. Once that's maxed out, that's 95 damage. 6 instances, that's almost 600 damage. With the minus armor, it's even more. So like the Solar Crest build-up is very popular if you can get to that. Like this hero, you don't expect this kind of damage. Like usually you would be able to beat the Doom, but Doom got so much buff in terms of armor. First he had 0 armor, then got 1 armor, now he got 3 extra, and he's sitting at like
5 seconds
top
remain.
Dire team back. You're gonna have 5 armor in the lane.
And the thing about Doom is why he's becoming so popular as well. All these good items have very easy build-ups, and he gets
Radiant team back.
So you can go for
Dire
7
team
months
back.
pretty much, and you're going to have it earlier than anyone else.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team banned.
Mars out by Phoenix and Centaur being banned.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We have played that Phoenix. It wasn't really the problem. The draft overall solid for overall issues had where the
Dire team pick.
Last 4 games. This time
Radiant
around,
team pick.
you're not playing the hero, so they're banned it out. Also, they lost the Shen. Heard of?
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
He might be bullied.
Radiant team pick.
Faceless Void.
And also we were Faceless
wow.
Void
Dire
first.
team
Wow. Like I've heard some stories like about Faceless Void being
Dire team banned.
and when he's paired up with the Star, it's a ton of damage. Go with the Doom, so the stroke combination, double Doom, Rose, that's always going to be strong. Potential Grimstroke Inc. will get that, but I would mid laner.
Radiant team ban. Dire team
Stories.
ban.
I experienced
You
them.
experienced the stories? How was
felt
it?
Position 5 Void. Versus me, he lost with... Actually, no. It felt pretty terrible. On 5. However, this combination Void and Sapphire literally...
10 seconds remaining.
Now you're playing
Radiant team ban.
and then we're... Especially with...
Dire team ban.
Why go for the Faceless Void in the first phase? There's no way that Elephant haven't seen 5 position Void, so I don't really think
question.
it's like a flex.
No
10
answer.
seconds. Radiant
The next
team
one, I
ban.
really have no idea why would you open up with the Faceless Void got bust. You know, an okay hero right now. I don't think he's top tier carry compared to some. We still don't know like what I like about Snapfire. I've tried
10
to
seconds remaining.
play it as well.
5 seconds
Lil Shredder?
remaining.
With the Blightstone, it's armor level 1. It's so much damage. Once that's maxed out, that's not that's almost 6 more. So like Solar Crest build is very popular. If this hero you don't expect, usually you would be able to first get hero
Radiant
armor, then
team
get one
pick.
armor, and he's top border of it. You buy one stat, you're gonna
10
Whatever you
seconds remaining.
earlier than
5
Puzzling.
seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
I talked about how Elephant catch Doom, Storm Spirit banned out, Earth Spirit close the gap. They still go with the. They're relying so much on their combo is pretty sick if you execute it. Let's say you catch 2-3 heroes, those 3
10 seconds remaining.
So are you thinking now one position void, or is
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
yeah.
or what?
I feel like that also maybe is an option where you care about your
Radiant
cards here. This
team
has
pick.
Wind Ranger
popular
at your service.
hero to counter the void when void meta.
side of Festive. There are options.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Lena.
Right, the hero
Games.
doesn't win, it has been buffed.
The buffs are good, she heavy right clicker,
10
her
seconds remaining.
second duration, which deal,
5
especially
seconds remaining.
I still feel you might do well at the laning stage, then you die like
Very abusive. That's the
yeah,
problem
like you
with
need to
Lena.
stay like that.
More often than not. Or eliminate. Presence on side of SAG have with right now with share the same
Arrow Gaming, they have so much inside the chrono. Fail that chrono, it's really hard for. Also, you need to start thinking about how you're gonna
Dire
Or
team
hero.
ban.
Dazzle.
reactive. Okay, I like this. They also have no real going in. They are the ones say a Doom, double Doom. Fight's just over for them. They have no counter.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I think it has to be the win. Dazzle doesn't deal enough damage to a chrono, and so Elephants still need to pick
Chrono?
up their one position. Yeah, so like if you need to have 2 different damage dealers, so Faceless Void has to worry about chrono the Dazzle and Wind Ranger's the support, then like who really cares? You're probably not going to die inside of a. But if you chrono a Dazzle and Wind Ranger's outside of it,
Radiant
Wind Ranger could
team
probably
ban.
still kill the Void.
I haven't heard that way of reasoning.
They haven't picked a
Or
one
what?
position yet, and so I think
Yeah,
they still
like-
still need to pick a carry.
It's doable either way. I still
10
suppose,
seconds
but
remaining.
Dazzle has been talked
5
about the little
seconds
shredder
remaining.
with Lightstone. Dazzle with
Dire
Poison
team
Touch,
ban.
Lightstone.
We've seen Dazzles in lane stage crush, and then they go for
Yeah,
Midas Octarine and do nothing for the next 20 minutes of the game.
This is why I feel like it's 5 Dazzle here, because are prioritized
Radiant
inside the
team
Chronosphere,
ban.
otherwise they're Wind Ranger, they don't have enough. You need to have a Yule Scepter that's been
Dire team
selling
pick.
things. It just feels a good Wind Ranger game with where
Radiant team
boards, like,
pick.
yeah, they have styles of players and not go with the raid. Or traditionally worked well against Faceless Void. Like who are you gonna Chrono? Chrono Dazzle plus most likely. Raid King doesn't care too much about being chronoed.
10 seconds.
I
10
like what
seconds
else.
remaining.
I don't think there's gonna be one pick from Sparking Arrow game
5 seconds
like-
remaining.
the whole draft.
Valued. Whoever he goes. Ursa.
Is there no way they can turn this void
They
into
need
a
an
3
off-
position?
It's been like that, you know. When Faceless Void was a strong hero, people were opening up a lot of the time.
See
D
that
sometimes. I'm not so no.
Yeah, because if it was a huge curveball and they turn it into a 3 position, he's still going to kind of struggle in the offlane.
I could
Grimstroke and
He's not a strong laner, especially on the offlane. Dazzle plus Wraith, so much like coming onto you. Dazzle doesn't. They put themselves really bad spot.
Weaver.
Choose your hero.
Weaver. Who's the front? Oh, it is offlane. Faceless Void. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Elephant.
Wow, really?
I don't.
What a twist.
I'm not really impressed the way they drafted for them.
I don't really know about that. I don't know if it's anything different from us.
It's a typical anti-combo. Like,
Yeah.
you never know how it's going to work out. You know, the Chronosphere has got a buff to 500 AoE, which is bigger than Weaver's attack range. Maybe he will not even be able to hit anyone in it.
Yeah.
That is true. That is a massive amount of damage.
It's game changing.
I think don't they just get stuck? I don't even know the interaction there, because I've never seen the combo because it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Sir?
I think he's Tsunami coming. Game should be fun. We've seen Elephant look like a different team coming into this season, hoping they can keep the ball rolling. But you know,
Hard to
it's tough.
imagine Elephant losing this.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because they kind of crushed eHome, and eHome... Did they play SAG already? No, that was RNG. But eHome beat RNG. So, process of elimination, SAG is worse than Elephant.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if that's the math, if it checks out,
Yeah.
the
Definitely
200
does.
IQ, it definitely.
I never lie.
No, you don't. That's true.
Especially not when it comes to math. 5-man smoke, though. If they get 5 kills here, maybe the game will swing into their favor. Fake hype.
It's just every time they 5-man smoke or any game we see that, it just reminds me of the
Who's gonna
Neo
initiate?
move.
Void with a bash?
Praying for a bash?
I can't believe this happened. Oh, Dazzle though? FY? Oh, he saw them. And
30
SAG's like,
seconds to
oh, that
battle.
didn't work out.
Glad we tried that.
We have no initiation, guys.
Fire snap cookie.
Good one. But he still Scatter Blast. I mean, at least they'll secure themselves to Rune, probably. Yeah, it's just gonna be hard to see, really, how this SAG lineup is gonna close out the game.
Yeah. I'm excited to see FY on this Dazzle. It feels like another one of those heroes that you're not typically seeing on FY. And I think a lot has changed in terms of what he picks, obviously, because we don't see Rubik that much anymore. That used to be his go-to, of course. That was the Tusk. We've seen a lot of different heroes on FY. Like, he's been forced to kind of, I wouldn't say expand his hero pool, because we've seen him on these heroes before, but heroes that he would be picked up on, like, 70% of the time just have kind of fallen out of favor.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player. Like, he won a 1v1 tournament in China, you know, like, he definitely has the skills. And Dazzle is definitely a hero that can do a whole lot with items, so putting him as a post 4 is a decent decision. Should be laning quite well together with Doom as well. We'll see how they end up doing here.
Yeah, I'm looking at Yang and wondering what kind of play he's going to be making. Is it going to be more of a sacrificial game for him where, you know, his lane doesn't exactly go the way you want it to, but given enough, especially with the Doom, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, especially the new Doom, now Devour 60 seconds cooldown and the gold increase as well. You're never really going to be, like, super poor. Even if you have a somewhat bad laning phase, you're always going to be up there net worth. You're going to have your mobility items eventually. And Doom is just such a potent here. You get a Doom on the Lena, the Weaver, or the Void. The teamfight is pretty much just over.
And they've got the available double Doom.
Yep, they do. And of course, the new Doom Acceptor upgrade, increasing the duration to 22 seconds, which is, yeah, a third of a minute.
Yeah, the math checks out. You're not lying.
And it literally just ticks for 90 damage per second too, which is like 1960 pure damage. Like, I've seen yesterday a Doom just doomed the Viper full health and he just died. Like, he was walking back to base, he couldn't make it.
Do you prioritize that Axe? Like, has the build changed? Do you go to something else? Do you look maybe like that second item's your Axe, third item your Axe?
What I quite like right now is the Aura Doom, because level 15 you get the Devourer can target Ancient's Talent. You eat the Granite Golem, you get 50% bonus health for your entire team. You build a couple more auras, like even the Pipe would be really good. It just becomes so damn tanky, especially from the offlane role. I'm looking at more of a utility build. Mid lane, you know, you can get away with like first item Midas into like an earlier Blink, Aghanim's BKB kind of timing.
Right.
But it's not your job as offlaner.
You die.
We'll still see that Blink, of
Your
course,
failure lives on.
probably a bit later. We've also seen a little bit of drums on Doom, which isn't a bad item.
Is drums getting picked up more? Like,
No.
does that become an item that just
Unfortunately,
still doesn't
not.
get picked up?
It's just, I kind of forgot what it gave. Let's see. 6 strength, 6 in. Wow, for 1700 gold. Okay.
What do you think that item needs to give to be what? Because that was an item that was getting picked up every game.
And this also gave so many good stats. Like it gave like movement speed, attack speed, all stats. And it just got nerfed to a point because every hero was picking it up. So it just got nerfed to a weight sort of item, I guess. It's just like so expensive that it's not really easy to build into anymore.
Yeah, at least it didn't get the necro treatment.
Yeah, but when you get it though, 8 charges is quite a bit, and it gives you 45 attack speed, 13 movement speed. 30% movement speed. It is a big boost. It's just, you know, you're going to be a pretty selfless player to build it.
Real expensive.
Most Dota players nowadays are not. You want to be as greedy as possible with all your item builds. All the time.
I try not to be selfless.
You try not to be selfless.
Selfish. No, I try not to be selfish.
Ah, okay.
There we go. All right.
Well, the mindset was already replicated in that misspeaking.
You got me.
Yeah. And looking at the lanes, though, Void should not be able to pressure Wraith King at all. So it's predicting pretty much a free farm for this Wraith King, get into pretty good Radiance timing. Wind Ranger against Lina. It's probably a little bit Lina especially after the Lina buffs. We're like 6-4 for Lina. We'll have to see whether she can make some rotations happen or not. Bot lane is going to be quite difficult though for Doom. He should get harassed out of the lane quite easily by the Elder Titan. There's Weaver.
You think it's just not going to go well at all, or sometimes we see these bad matchups and players like Yang or even Somnus really overcome the bad matchups.
Yeah. I mean, on paper it should be really bad, but again, it's a Doom. He eats creeps. He gets levels that way. Gets gold that way. He'll get his stuff eventually. Windranger will be able to make rotations later on as well. It's just like their lineup is pretty... what's the word? Immobile? Probably is the best way to put it, because Dazzle can't really gank. Grimstroke can sort of gank, I guess, but not really. Like, he's not a Tusk sort of thing. He's not a Disruptor. Windranger can also sort of gank, but it's kind of risky. It's like not a for sure stun, right? Like a skill shot. Same with Doom. And Wraith King doesn't really want to initiate stuns because like he wants to farm, right? Like, they're just going to be playing lanes for a long time.
Somnus, I'm looking because he's been playing those Windrunner during iLeague quite a bit.
How did that go?
He's, I think, won every game. So he beat RNG with it, he beat Magma with it, and then he also beat Magma.
Yeah, I mean, Windranger is a strong hero, especially once you get that Maelstrom timing. It's a lot of DPS.
Been averaging around 11 minutes on that Maelstrom.
Yeah, if you have a good laning phase, it's definitely possible. We'll have to see. Like, this Lina Windranger matchup is pretty skill-based, depending on how many stuns you can hit, how many power shots you can hit. It's a very volatile matchup. His Euros is still disconnected. He's like, yeah, this lane looks pretty free. I don't really want to play. Go next.
A little bit tougher. Definitely feels like SAG have supports that are more likely to rotate towards mid.
Yeah, I mean, they have Snapfire Cookie, who can easily initiate like a little skirmish, or Elder Titan with a Stomp could potentially do the same. But yeah, like, to really start a team fight, they need that Chronosphere, which, again, they do have a combo with it. And they have Snapfire, they have Elder Titan, Lina can lay in the damage. It's just Weaver is never going to really feel comfortable playing around that Chrono.
Yeah.
Just because it's too big. What's Weaver's attack range? 425. So Chrono has a 500 radius. If one guy's caught in the other end, you can't even hit him.
Oh, God. I feel like that's going to lead to Void wanting to do like those perfect Chronos where you put someone on the edge of the Chrono right next to your core.
Yeah,
or right next to your carry.
Oftentimes, it's like, oops, not quite in there.
You hold it too long, you try to be precise with it, you end up, making it a bit of a joke.
Yeah, especially as offline Void, though. There's so much more emphasis on the Chronosphere because you won't have as much farm, you won't have as much damage. So if the Chrono is on cooldown, you won't be as useful as a carry Void. And of course, still just jump in with BKB, bash people up. We'll have to see how he does.
We'll have to see where the Void goes, how he performs. Because I think we were talking about what if it was going to be safe lane Void during the draft, and then it goes to this offlane role. Like, what are you expecting from the Void in terms of items, too?
Usually when you play offlane Void, it's just all about initiating and tanking up.
Right.
Like, you want to give your team as much information as possible. It's not an easy role, though. Because, like, you're also the guy that has to... If you, quote-unquote, bait and die, it's pretty much over for your team.
Dire's
Elder Titan with the poison touch. Oh, good courier. Snipe.
Ribs FY's courier.
He has boots on FY, though. He's in trouble here.
Yeah, he's going to keep up with him, keep putting on that poison touch, and keep you away. Oh, Shadow Wave, almost enough damage. He'll get his courier. The courier didn't deliver the item, so that's way worse for XCJ.
Especially because there was a sentry ward in there.
Top lane. Here's with the Inkswell on him. Stroke of Fate, I think it was a little bit short, but they got that kill the skeletons.
The one skeleton that he had. Delta, they did way too much damage, though. Of course, Wraith King not picked up as much, but it's still this 35 damage per hit. I can't believe they just like walked up to it.
The killing blow on SRF.
Yeah. And we already said that it's going to be a free farm lane for Wraith King. Giving him that first blood is just going to make it so much worse.
The damage over mid.
Like, Lina is one of the tougher matchups for Alina. Really, any heavy magic burst is pretty rough for Windranger to play into. But his bottle is on the way. Won't be able to refill it, though, with the water rune. So, 7E. A little bit of a lead here. Because of that.
7E was, to me, one of the who I thought
Oh.
definitely make it given the right team. You know, he played for Phoenix, and there was a point where Phoenix in the first season of Perfect World League were getting coached by ROTK. Like, that was where he looked the greatest, was during that little stint, because there wasn't a lot of time that he was coaching them. You know, he's played for like eHome Immortal, and he's kind of played on like these lower tiered teams in China, but he's starting to like show a lot of growth. So I think playing these matchups mid against a lot, like we say in China, like you know, these strong mid players, is certainly going to be, whether or not he wins or loses these games, is going to be a growing experience for him, and I'm excited to see him get.
Oh, definitely. Just playing in this upper league in general is going to make you such a better player. Because you get all this experience playing against good players. Always good to have.
Ooh, up top, Great Fire Blast. They've got the Ink Swell. That's going to pop up, getting the kill on SRF once again. Red Panda trying to run from Son Goku.
He has silence. Pop it.
Skeletons are right on him after the time walk.
There's just so much damage coming out, and Void can't help the Snapfire. Like, you stun him, Ink Swell on the Snapfire, Skeletons are hitting the Snapfire, just dead.
It really is just a free lane. How long are you going to send a Snapfire up here where you really just might start feeding, kill again? You've already died twice.
It would only get worse. Now Wraith King is getting his boots delivered in a courier, which means it's even harder to get away, because you don't have boots on your hero.
For the sleep.
Not gonna hit.
Doesn't land, but a lot of damage on the F-line. They land Shack on the 70. They've got the Ink Swell. Keeping up with they shoot the damage with the power shot, and Red Panda gets the kill with the Phantom Embrace. So, big kill over mid, and this is kind of what we expected from Elephant. Coming into this was just an overwhelming game plan, just not only based on like the heroes matchups, but the player matchups too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, also they don't really have, as we said before, ganking lineup, but they make it happen.
Firestab quickly lands, and they might be able to get this kill into yours. They do.
Double bash or one bash. And what is that RNG? Let's go.
Red Panda, Ink Swell, and they're going to start to run away. Lands it and doesn't have the mana for a Stroke of Fate to follow that up.
Yeah, he used all his bash luck in the Wraith King kill, so he couldn't possibly bash another time. That would have been ridiculous. What is the chance of that? 12%, and he had 2 bashes.
Yeah.
Why not? That's why we all love RNG or hate it.
Depends if you're on the receiving side or the benefiting side.
Definitely. Doom is doing very well for himself. Actually out-farming the Weaver thanks to that new Devourer.
Yeah, sitting 4th in the net worth right now. Back and forth with IDC in terms of who's got the lead at the moment.
Yeah. No creep luck him, doesn't get a setter. And that setter is so game-winning sometimes.
Shockwave.
Yeah, and the free region, most importantly. Now that the region is gone, if you get with the additional armor now that you have, pretty much unkillable. Oh,
he wants that haze. He avoids the stun, doesn't get the haze, throws the shackle out. This is such a ballsy play from Somnus, and he's going to get slept up. Does have the Dazzle right here, who doesn't get the Shallow Grave off. And he's going to die here too.
He used the heal, so he doesn't have the grave. Okay, like, a couple of moves coming out from Elephant, uncharacteristic. Like, Somnus was really greedy for that rune. He could have even just gotten Laguna and died right away.
Yeah.
And then a little misplay from FY, using his heal. Not enough mana to grave. I don't think he should have died there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, he's getting chased.
One more
IDC.
Gemini? Nope.
Thinking about going under the tower, and he's going to go for this. Shiguchi, Dazzled, TP in.
Tower is under attack.
Does have that time lapse if he needs it. South canceled immediately.
Well played by IDC.
Radiant structures
Into the
are
damage.
fortified.
Boy, to be careful though.
Because this time lapse is going to put it right back under the tower.
That's not where you want to be, but he's going to be fine. A little bit comfortable.
Yeah, he had the wand charges too.
Avoid silence.
Ink Swell with Phantom's Embrace. They've got the silence. No time walk for him. Son Goku dying to Eurus. Nope. The sweep. They've got it. IDC. You see with the fire tap, we get a follow-up from SRF. Boomstroke coming, but I don't know if it's going to be in time. They've got the Shallow Grave on a Yang. There's the save coming in from FY.
Power of Grave. I also think a lot of people just forgot how to play against Dazzle in general. Because you can't do these hard committals. One Grave will literally just turn the team around if you commit everything on one hero.
He needs to have good positioning for this because he can really be a thorn in the side of the entire side of SAG. You throw Chrono, you think you got someone, Laguna Blade, oh, well, there's the Shallow Grave, you save your carry, and, you know, the fight turns around.
Dazzle is really a hard counter to the lineup here of SAG in this game. This Void is not going to have fun at all. You will never really catch the Dazzle and Chrono because the cast range is so far. And if you don't Chrono at least 2 or 3 heroes, your AoE abilities won't be able to do anything because you just graved that one guy.
Right.
Definitely a tough game for Radiant here. See how they try to overcome that, try to find a solution to it because it's really not easy. You have to outplay. And outplaying Elephant is not easy.
Especially when they're on. Well, neutral items dropping. You've got a trusty shovel.
Dire's top
Mask
tower
for
is under attack.
the Dire. Keen Optic coming in for the Radiant. They smoke up. Somnus and Red Panda. They're going to head towards bottom. They might be able to find a couple here if they're not too careful on SAG.
Weaver is a very tough kill because like the Doom is hard to hit because it's, and even the Shackle is hard to hit as well. And now they just go into the jungle. Expecting to find a Lina maybe, but
Get out. Getting out that Windrunner is missing, so they're going to go
perfect
back
lineup for the Shackle right now.
Big swell and on that up with the ult and right on top. Easy kill there for Somnus. 78 XCJ make the rotation, but there's nothing there that they can do to catch them. And so look for the sweep. It does land on a 2, but do you want to follow this up? I think it's a little bit risky to make the move in, and they've landed the power shot on a 7-8. A little bit close to the tower. The Laguna Blade will deter Somnus for a moment. Inkswell and Red Panda thinking about going right on top of XCJ with the help that he's got.
IDC also to beat in.
Wow, they were really putting in the numbers and looking for Somnus. FY has Shallow Grave. Holding and he never graded him. And now Red Panda's dead too.
Rotation by IDC, but you can tell. Wow, it's not super comfortable in zero. Grave King and Chrono, he has reincarnation though.
So reincarnation gets used. They're gonna try to go down to Eurus, but slowed up.
He bought back a Red Panda actually. Wow.
That's big commit.
Wraith King, who was fine already. That's a Chrono committed for Wraith King. Oh, pretty much the same cooldown. Wraith King is happy with this. But yeah, like, a little bit of overreactions here from the Dire side.
Radiant's
A little sloppy. It's, you know, maybe didn't warm up enough.
But yeah. Just FY, man. A couple of times with the Shallow Grave, it's not going out.
He actually casted it, but he canceled it because he's fine, and then the spirit just in his face exploded. Somnus.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That is not what you want to have happen.
Dire's top tower
Certainly
is
not.
under attack.
I will say, though, all those rotations really open up the lane again.
It did. I mean, he's sitting pretty much the same network as Wraith King now. Also getting the bot tower. Wraith King going straight to the
Radiant's
Radiance.
bottom tower has fallen.
Away from his relic. Of course he did.
Dire's top
He's trying to set it
tower
up.
is under attack.
All of their cores won every. And this is the rule of thumb for Elephant.
The greed.
Yes. And in turn, they got their own top tower.
Dire's top tower
He's going
has
into a
fallen.
hood on the Void.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Take quite a bit. As I said, you just want to be the front line, the kind of tanky guy. Can stand there, give information for your team. Because Snapfire needs that, Lina needs that, Weaver needs that. To an extent, even Titan needs it as well.
IDC, he's got Perseverance and Dragonlance.
I don't understand item build. Perseverance is not a great value item. It's very expensive, like 1700 for 6 health region,
Sentry
2
down.
region. Yeah. Maybe he wanted to go like in the Lincoln first. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go Dragonlance. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go Maelstrom.
He just wants 3 items. Bonus.
Somnus' game is pretty slow though. Like you said, he was averaging about 11 minutes. Only 12. He's still quite a bit away from it.
Yeah, he's not gotten it yet, and I think he's died a couple times where
Dire's structures are fortified.
For sure. Those 2 deaths were very
greedy.
so unfortunate.
That's generous. He went for the haste-strewn bottom with like a 200 health.
Yeah.
And then mid was just, I think that one's on that. More so on FY,
Yeah.
but
I mean, that's the problem sometimes, right? When you have to play so many different heroes. You're not super comfortable on all of them. Now smoke up, Doom ready, Grimstock Gold ready. That double Doom.
And they've got the blink, so they have the reveal on that too.
Yeah.
This could be really bad for SAG.
But they're also smoking up bottom here in the mid range. They might get the kill before they come in.
Chrono. They're going to go with the Mortar Burst Kids is the comp that they were looking for, but isn't enough damage. Doesn't look like it quite yet, and they need to be careful because they're coming around back on Elephant. They got the Shackle, they'll get the kill on Asana, and now the other way. Onto a solo target to start. That's onto the Lina of 70. They'll get the kill onto the Lina quick. Follow that up with one on SRF. It's on two silent time walk, but it gets the Phantom's Embrace off of him. So a 2-for-1, both mids falling, and there is the Maelstrom. Finally, 13.5 minutes, a little bit slower than Somnus's average, at least recently.
Still quite good though for the Dire Strategy. They trade the mid laners, sure, but they get another one on top. Good blink reveal as well. And they're just farming for Storm. Like Wraith King pretty much has his relic done. Gonna have a very good Radiance timing. Doom is just getting bigger and bigger. Sure, Wind Ranger's struggling a little bit, but the rest of your cores are owning.
Yeah. I quite
Radiant's middle tower.
I don't know if they can commit for the tower here. Lina's being a bit side.
But they've got the careful here. They asked where he was going to be. They get the quick kill on a 7 and it comes through. That's going to land on the top of the Yang. They got the sweep on a Yang, so he's running away, but it doesn't. He'll escape with life. Got the Shikuchi right on top. The region's right there for him, but he's unable to pick it up, and they get the kill on a Yang, and they also take out the reincarnation of the Furious Wraith King.
Is under attack.
70 way over his head. Like they saw the TP. It's obviously. Like, they were standing right next to it. And as a Lina, you can't really allow yourself to be in such a position. Scope low, put low, very tanky.
They got this. If they want to fuck this up, dilation.
He's gonna pull out.
Damn it! No grade. Again, no grade. Looking like he's dead. FY gets the grave off this time, but I don't know. I think that's just inevitable. Keeps FY close enough. He might be dead as well, and they give him the chase. They get where Panda's life.
They're rushing him down. Yeah, I feel like Sumner should have lived there again. FY really dropping the ball there a couple of times on Graves. Another short pause here, hopefully. I mean, at least Wraith King didn't die, right? He's gonna have his Radiance up in 300.
He didn't die a second time.
Like these Wind Ranger deaths really hurt because you're not a flash farm hero. And SAG's actually doing a pretty commendable job. Only 1k lead for Elephant. Game being with Doom. They'll get the power right away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, that everyone's doing. Max the Shredder. Minus arm, ton of
Dire's middle
damage.
tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
Quite the so early, and then you get that with the Solar Crest.
Yeah. Paid for 15. He's going to the St. Josh Agonies. Alright.
The Solar Crest get nerfed again, just made it a little bit more expensive. It feels so strong right now.
I don't think so. Still the same
Radiant are scanning.
Just wait cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Just very available to force early.
And the biggest question mark I have about the item is, did you lose the armor when you cast it? Why don't you lose the movement speed as well? It's just for free, you know, you get 10% for free. The caster doesn't lose it. And where does that come from?
Yang. So Goku has Chrono. Leads it. Time and actually have on Secret Motorist Kids is connect, and Yang is tanky, but he's not tanky enough. They'll use the Luna Blade too, so a couple of ults here for one kill.
4 ults
on this Doom, yeah.
It was 4 ults blown for 1 Doom. Okay.
And that gives Elephant now an opportunity to fight. No Chrono.
Dire's middle tower is under
longest
attack.
cooldown. Motorist Kiss is decently long, and so their splitter, but I mean that should be opening a situation. You've got this Eurus, like you can move in.
Yeah, no reincarnation. You definitely want to have the level 12 and reincarnation off cooldown before you start the fight. But the Radiance is gonna be a big problem. Like the Lina will miss it, Weaver as well, Faces will it. Very strong item in this game.
DPC just foregoing boots the entire time.
Yeah, we will do that. Go straight for level 10.
275 movement speed.
About 550. Here's the Quishy, which now can't break limit anymore. So It's like Wind Ranger Axe as well. Whole bunch of, I believe the only that can now is Bloodseeker, right?
I think so.
Speed Demon.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
10-8 though for SAG.
Gold is less than 1,000.
Keeping it close
Radiant's
for a
middle tower
long
is
time.
under attack.
They feel very strong now, though. Because they have no Radiant, as we know. You're the reincarnation of
Son Goku might get caught here. They did
Radiant's
a blink
bottom tower
on
is
the
under
Doom, but it's not going to catch him. And this ward is spotting FY, so you either take you away from the Spaceless Void. The last save on the Eurus, he just got reincarnated back. I don't think he wants to use it this quickly, but it looks like he will. So that's the first life gone, and finally Elephant are going to react. They're going to blink forward to use that Doom on the 7E. The X-Sword also pops right on top of the lead. The shockwave over. The lean is going to die and yank the kill there. They've also taken out SRF on this Snapfire. A couple of silencers thrown onto the SAG side, trying to catch them out. And CJ will be third to drop a double kill there for Somnus. A little bit of a rebuttal coming out from Elephant.
We spoke about. Sure, you can kill the ranking once after that. Where's the damage going to come from? Ults were still on cooldown. You really need all the firepower you can get. Like Doom is going to jump the lead every time. There's no counterplay. If Zero safe, you're going to see it here again. Euros dies first time pretty quickly, sure. Radiant's burn damage is dealing a lot. That's respawn. Is ready to fight. Doom gets a great Doom off of Lina, who's like one of the main DPS, and then how do you fight after that?
Illusion.
Away, an Elephant run him over.
And he's just so tanky too. IDC's just standing there throwing right clicks at Yang. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Like this new armor buff on Doom is so good. It's gonna have his BKB kills are harder. But they take the chance to take Roshan because they know Doom was on cooldown, reincarnation on cooldown.
Dire's
Very good
middle
call.
tower
I
is
think
under attack.
take the bet for the situation. Decisive. Like a lot of higher tier teams can't even do it. Very important. You can. And now Lina takes the Aegis, okay.
And they have Chrono Veils, can really make something happen with this Aegis timing. Everybody's got their ults up here for SAG. They get caught out with, without those ults, but now they have an opportunity to throw it right back and go for a fight.
They will have to stop this King. He is getting a little bit out of control. Now the stage picked up. Sitting at a good 8 health. Going to the Blink Dagger next. Just so much survivability coming out from the Dire. The Grave, you got the Reincarnation, the tanky Doom, BKB in the front line.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You need a godlike initiation on the Spaceless Void. If you chrono just one guy, won't cut it.
And that's they've
Radiant's
been
middle
doing
tower is under
is using that
attack.
Chrono to like Seymour pickoffs.
Yeah, pickoffs. Like, they never tried to get a team fight yet. And I think Doom with BKB, Windranger also picked up her BKB now, and it's nigh impossible to team fight at this point. Even if you chrono and BKB up, can't get them. Fighting just got a whole lot harder. Another smoke though. Steve Sumner still got those fast fingers.
Scan comes in, so they know basically where Somnus is. Assume that the rest of the team is with them based on their presence on the map, and they're going to smoke themselves. And this is a smoke that I would say SAG should be anticipating.
For sure.
They're coming around. They're brave, taking a look at the blink. We look over to they've got the team front way there. The smoke. They've got this go after they get the kill on it. It's alright as well as SAG. They're taking a both sports that are going to buy back on the side of SAG. On the void, and well, this is Goku who needs to run away. And we'll get some distance with that fire snap. He hurts will come from the Yang as well as Eucharist. They get the kill on Son Goku as he tries to run. Finally, a good shower from FY to save this Doom. He TPs out and took the rest of the team. The only casualty for ends up being Somnus for Elephant.
Yeah, and expanded here on the boards, and you can see the Chronosphere. The Void was so nervous. He cancels his chrono 3 times, then he ends up chronoing a BKB, Boom, and we spoke about how much pressure there is on him. You can see it here again. Look at the Void, look at the Chronosphere. Rough. Absolutely rough. He chronoed more teammates than enemies.
Yeah, and end up the Snapfire walked into it too.
Yeah. All supports had the buyback. Doom also dies to the TOT damage. Poison as well as Doom. And it's gonna get hard, really.
There for SAG because I expect that they knew pretty much where Elephant was in that engagement.
They scanned him out.
Yeah.
Should definitely know.
And even that information might go well.
I can just see the problems of the line. There's like no real like super long range auto attackers or anything with that Void. Like I've seen offlane Void like what 3 years ago was very popular. Long range heroes like mid-range middle and stuff. But it's just not very popular because an offlane Void doesn't offer all that. You gotta have a Talbot now, sure. I mean, you might not die. Do you do anything? You don't get any damage. You don't really disable. That's the reason why it has always been carried.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now he's got
Radiant
the
structures
Ags
are falling
and the
into
Shark.
bed.
I mean, the shot
Dire's
Void
structures
is.
are
I don't know if
fortified.
you've seen it. It's ridiculous ones where you jump in and out. Like it looks really, really dumb. S an industry in here. Getting burned up right now. And power shot it.
Shower Grave, it's there finally from Amphilon to get the save on the Sonnets. They follow this up with the Mortimer's Kisses, but they just don't land them. Go after Eurus, who does have reincarnation. They're running into the Radiant Yang. Maybe we're going to turn this around. He's got the Bull Dagger as well as the Inksaw, but he's not going to commit for this. Time Walk, Time Dilation, out onto Eurus with a chase from IDC. They should be able to pop this first life, but are they comfortable doing so? Oh, no. To both Eurus as well as Red Hand, and Valandia will get followed up, but Yang, the man stunned! Oh man! Yang, he really turns this one around, and maybe Elephant can make something of this. They're losing these heroes, though. So literally got the weeks from Yang, they took on the right out of life. Triple kill for FPC. They have found Yang. On the other side of the fight, they're looking over at Sonnet. Not two heroes going after this runner. He's been disarmed. It's in time. It's in time. And got the time dilation. Oh, shackle. Counter shot. Not enough. And SRF will get that kill on the Sonnet. A very big fight for SAG, and it didn't look like it was going well to start.
Yeah, and there was a bite up to expand it on the Grimstroke. The fight started pretty well, like the Lina, good initiation. On the Wind Ranger,
Dire's top tower is under
and there was a
attack.
good timely grave to save him, but he was so low health already to start the fight with. Good Chronosphere this time coming up as well.
Dire's
Times
bottom
the
tower is
incarnation
under attack.
pretty well
Dire's
too,
bottom
and he
tower
comes back
has
to life.
fallen.
Yang there, I thought he was going to make enough of this.
I thought he saved the team fight right there.
Yeah, the three-man stun coming in, and he had the intel on him. He stays with three teammates.
But he didn't find a Doom target.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't Doom the Weave because of the Link. He couldn't Doom the because of Aegis. He ended up not using it at all. And they always wanted a team on the back of a good Doom initiation, right? On that, potentially even on couldn't find it there at all.
I'm a bit surprised just because he had a gun there, and he gets this on. I'll do it though. Little Doom. Blaster. Boy, they're focusing their attention onto the face of Void. They already got the comeback day. Silence again, and still doomed up. It doesn't matter. He's trying to run. He's and dead and gone.
Radiant's middle
Son
tower
Goku
is under
can't
attack.
do enough with this life.
I just realized Void
Dire's structures are fortified.
Alright, snap ult, just quick wave, but still a catapult.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Dazzled. The way to like X, he's almost got that.
Yeah. What was that? A Dispel? Dispel.
And that increases the heal and the damage by 100.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
What? What's that Dispel? Time dilation? That's it? Solar Crest? Potentially? Not a whole lot of value in this game, I feel like. Maybe it just wants it to stronger people. It's a possibility. It's a very expensive axe.
I like his shark.
Me too.
But obviously it's much better against like still really strong.
Yeah, against the Weaver. Mobile Heroes is very good. Lina now finished her BKB.
Maybe he thinks it's just if they got their BKBs, or if they get their BKBs, it won't have as much value.
Maybe. So what did I put the heal up to? 240. 240 heal every 5 seconds. I mean, it's not bad, of course. It's just potentially like a better item choice, like an E-Blade or something. Or your Guardian Greaves.
Yeah, finishing the Greaves.
Or like a high point. We'll see. I haven't really seen this axe in action.
Yeah, certainly not as much as
I've seen it once with a brew that was funny. Because the heal at like 1500 damage. Good. And then? just in time. What if face the chart is
Radiant's top
because you found a
tower is
cap
under
and
attack.
the ability to attack.
Reverse.
Money to burn.
Like you literally just jump to start this wall. It has 5 seconds cast time. So you can juke around with it quite a bit.
Let's see if he can, if he's some moves.
Kind of moonwalking, yeah.
Moves like Jagger or moves like Michael Jackson? He moves through
Pretty much it. You'll see. You got the whole music swell going as well.
Start playing Billie Jean.
Yeah. Alright, state of the game. Where are we at? It's only 1k lead Elephant, however, the scalability is so much better, right? Like, Wraith King outscales the faces of Void, and Julina is going BKB lazy, so he won't be dealing all the damage. Optimizing very defensively. Like, very defensively. It's an MKB, so that's quite a bit of damage. Dragonlance and Grove also actually this damage.
I guess that's a good conversation we have when we talk about these teams that have been promoted. Is like they, you know, when we watched LBZS, when we watched Agma, they would have these good 15 minutes and completely fall off the cliff. Here, CG, 30 minutes into the game, they're keeping it close, and they still look like they have potential to win this one.
They're doing a good job for sure. Just I weave this diet at all. I'm like really afraid if they ever get a Doom on him or something. Because like he's always the guy dealing the main damage. Doom now has to have his helper, which means he can easily pop the things and Doom you. Now smoke again. By the dire.
Radiant's bottom
In
tower
5 seconds.
is under
And
attack.
that's the shard.
The first blade shot, yeah, giving that additional stun bonus damage.
Let's see who picks up the shard here on Roche. After they kill it. Get the shard on Doom. Well, I guess you give Basil the shard if you.
I think Grimstroke is also a good case because it dispels all done. Alright, Wake and Roche once.
Go after this. They Chrono, they have everything here to try and stop this. You are SAG. They're close.
Easy Roche for that. They have Chronosphere. There's no something they should risk.
Pain. Go for Roche. Time walk in.
You see it?
First walk.
The wetter, the better. And
Oh. Forward?
nope.
No, not bad.
Just farming around
I
Roche.
accept
Of course,
this
neither team wants to give up the Roshan.
Up for both sides.
Dire are scanning.
Ranger going into MKB next. Of course, the best scaling damage item with Focus Fire.
More fuel for my fire.
Rave King, Stand Josh, Doom, a bit of information to help to jump better. I like. I mean, one team wants to make a move, so.
We'll see if that ends up hurting them. Now they're going to go to push on the side of SAG.
It will die if they don't respond quickly. It's almost already. You have
I'm long.
hit the roll, guys.
And they're going to get roached.
That's a shot. For whom?
He's
giving him
himself.
Very good against Glimmercave stuff. I like that quite a bit. Counters invisibility, of course, as we all know.
Okay.
Devil now, it doesn't spell the beetle, I believe. It does. So, really, it just spells time dilation and the solar crest potential. Maybe a little shredder, debuff.
I'm surprised Elephant gave so
Radiant's bottom
so
tower
easily,
is
yeah.
under attack.
Now they're one team behind.
But they have now, like they have a ton of damage potential. You kill a guy with and potentially doom to other targets. Like this team fight will end up to be really like, easy for Elephant. You know, like if you get a good initiation on, or if you get a good chrono in turn, it will all just come down to the base.
Right.
Like we're still looking for.
Haste.
It is not easy to land at all against these heroes. Wind Ranger is very fast, but Doom actually cut into age. Really doom him anymore. To go. She also is a Lincoln.
It's tough.
This is where all the defensive itemization comes into play. Will they have enough damage if the Weaver gets taken off?
Radiant's bottom
Because
tower is under attack.
the damage right now. Yeah, and he's hitting at a respectable health as well. Now Daedalus. Wow, he's gonna hit like a truck.
Eurus is in trouble.
It is.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's see.
Radiant structures
Next team
are
could be really
fortified.
chaotic. There's a ton of damage coming up on both
Dire's top
sides.
tower
I think if
is under
SAG win,
attack.
him for Elephant.
Yeah, and if they win a fight for the Elephant base again, yeah, it is done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom, softness. Would cross spear.
Comes in. Their North is London. Should have the damage. Oh my god! Yeah, do have the damage. Rips through Softness.
Daedalus Weaver, yeah. I hope he
Three-shot him.
Gemini attack on the 25. That if you attack with MKB and Daedalus, if you crit twice, you can free this tooth from that from wall.
He's going
Dire's
BKB.
middle tower
Also got
is
left
under
here.
attack.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it needs a BKB. I would like to panic. If you get doomed, you die either way. The 10 fast back and life is good.
If he gets doomed, because he still has the link.
Dire's middle tower
So what is the
has fallen.
BKB going to do for you? No.
Yeah. I was saying, like, I agree
fair.
with Skip. I think he's already got the Lincolns. In reverse, walk out. Get me pop, whoever he sees. Don't. BKBs. Well, I'm no longer available for Elephant.
It's bad. The cool got it in 25 seconds, huh? It might just do that.
It's going in.
Yeah.
I don't want to matter.
She's the
no damage following that up.
pretty scared, even though they use both their BKBs. Intentional. Okay. Inexperience shining through a little bit. I feel like I could have fought quite a bit more.
Yeah, with the keep, I don't know. You've got the advantage.
Definitely.
You already
Now 2K lead for SAG. I'm actually pretty impressed. Also, at the same time.
Dolphins played and impressed SAG play.
Yeah.
Haste!
SAG is playing well. Don't get me wrong. Just I expect more of Alpha. Yeah.
Still have Chrono.
Yeah. But damage on the Doom, there was just like one Gemini attack. It's well developed.
Fireball. Force the KB to accept me. He Zealous. Looking for the sweep. Missing everything though. Hits on a red panda, but that's not who you want to hit it on. Go after XCJ, who will get that Glimmer Cape, get out of vision, and get out of dodge.
Out of 50k behind. Yeah. And of course, you know, missing all your storms.
You're just gonna.
S sign. Age is gonna run out very shortly. Yep.
Radiant are scared.
It's moving in. They're with it. Top the lane. And the one for his time. So, Wraith Fireball bouncing back to here, who had to output some damage on the Wraith King. Got those giving fighting and now the Duke. That's not true. Come out of first life out of the hands of the Wraith King. Get going, but they've got Cape, and that should keep him alive. So, eats the cheese, and this is where you turn because you're available to try and catch up. Elephant, they really need to get out of here and split up.
Radiant's top tower has
away. SAG don't catch anybody. They don't lose anybody either.
Triple Lincolns is now. It's called Lincolns.
Link. Yeah.
Time is Lincolns.
Wait, no, revert time off.
No, Doom for 100 now. I'm trying to make use of this window because Doom is one of the strongest abilities.
Dire's middle tower
Yes.
is under attack.
Triple Lincoln.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
What?
Yeah, we were in charge. Oh no!
We fast.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get Mikey Seattle. It was a free call, but it also called the
be careful with this. We're back into the fight. Don't say fast health. They should be the fight with the depth of the years. Goku pulls his touch. Comes in. Fires the depth. Go back. Over to get no lead in the hook over to Goku. Just get Tylock away. IDC on the run, but I'm not sure he gets out. He's thinking about moving back in. This is a real decision for him as they'll continue to chase out of Goku, who's tough to catch up with because he's not that time attack. Time walk over. Some Steve
Barely
did not.
And this is the problem with Void and Weaver. Your attack range is the chrono range. We spoke multiple times. He was caught in the chrono again. If he's out of the chrono, I think they're gonna try to fight.
Yeah, I mean, he landed a 3-man chrono, almost perfect, but just on the edge. We'll see again. Weaver, he's just on the edge of it. Oh, doesn't catch Yang. They're right next to each other. It's perfect. The Earth Splitter comes in and hits everybody. Like, this fight could have gotten so much better if we were putting damage a little bit earlier.
And then we brought back, coming back to half health, of course, explaining that all. That only looked massive, but in the end, caught the Weaver, which lost them the team fight. So much responsibility that faced the Void to make the team fight work, which is exactly why I'm not the biggest fan of the Void.
Right.
There's some pressure on him, you know?
And it's pressure. And even though it looked so good for him,
it worked barely not.
Yeah. Just
millimeter.
Heroes 4 he's hot. It's the Weaver getting by. It's like it's
right there. Because they didn't have buybacks on that. Wait. Oh, Elephant sitting at a pretty lead. Boom. Again.
Roche up in a minute 15. Let's get the HG potentially acts order refresher shard, which means, you know, dooms.
Yeah. What I don't want to see in the very Evan would be fine. Maybe a Minotaur horn. Yeah, he has it in his inventory. But not anymore.
It's fine.
No, he doesn't really need boots. He's a Weaver. Oh, and he took the gem and added triple 3 seconds. Gonna hurt a lot. He has no buyback. Very scary for Radiant.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful, and they're going to want to go for that road. For that, in the right spot, trying to figure out where SCG are, and here the control keeper. They can go after back up towards Roche.
I just Radiant stuff. You know, if power get the side and like before, maybe I said you would just snack again.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Big now oh no. That's a huge damage. He has no damage out of him still. But M can be really massive for him. No. Weaver will have his beak for the next fight. But I feel like Weaver never really had a problem with
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The only time he had problems was when he got crippled.
I'm kidding.
It's so tough to do. Like he saying things about Void Chrome so it's very tough.
Good game, eh? There's actually by the way, so yeah. Catch it.
Just take the axe. I'm also suffering damage.
I give it a E. Yes. Gonna blink. Yeah.
Look, dude, come. Oh no, he's gonna land on 2. Yeah, just buy that. Right now, right there, like balls of my life. I'm up right on top of him. They'll get the half by that.
Yep. Still. Won't be as a fixed it.
Chrono.
Very tanky.
And he's moving. Oh, time walk in, time walk out. He just keeps turning around.
One Gemini attack on Europe takes him down to about 6%.
I read Panda.
Yeah, I have to give respect to this now. Weaver is just too because you're by double red pick queued up. Let's go. IDC doesn't care. IDC 100
until Roshi, or not Roshi, Void's Chrono is available. Almost got it.
Dire's bottom tower.
Every jump in is gonna bash. Oh,
Does that work on the reverse?
that's not
Dire's
the
bottom tower has fallen.
reverse. Doesn't
Does not
heal you
affect
either.
health.
It would be too broken otherwise. Cost cooldown reduction is also must. So it's 4 seconds. That spell now. The massive range.
Time is money.
If you put a Chronosphere AoE, it's literally going to be 640 AoE.
I don't.
But it's going to be
I don't think he
sabotaging
wants it. Yeah, I think you'd rather the backtrack.
You make that Chronosphere too big, like you're already struggling to not hit your weak.
Now you have a choice. And like last, you were forced to have all for this. You thought bigger Chrono. At least now you have to skill it yourself.
And there's the Ags.
Yeah. I actually lost because I got to level 30 on Void. The Chrono suddenly too big. I didn't want it.
You just don't realize the difference in.
Chrono,
in
my teammate.
Yeah.
He was like, "Screw you, bro. You just lost us again."
Courier back up 10 seconds for 70.
Yeah.
So
That
he'll have that
MKB
updated.
is a massive damage move. That attack speed you get from Fiery Soul, level 25 now, also up 50 attack range, additional on Lina, sitting at a good 820. No,
I don't think. Yeah, they didn't know that they caught Son Goku through all the trees. They caught the wolf. Like they're expecting that. They maybe assumed it hit a tree.
But they have no ward on it.
Up high ground push because they do have like Chrono.
And the Void Scepter now as well.
Yeah.
Like every jump is bashed. And both teams have such good high ground defense actually. This might be looking at the 6th game here.
Excited. I love me.
What am I looking at here? Like, what would
Radiant's
break
top
game?
tower.
Tyrant had Lina. She just waved the arms so fast she would teleport to the next game. Like a helicopter is taking off.
Flies out of the map.
More fuel
Yeah,
for
blast the channel.
wildfire.
Link for Wraith King.
Dire
He completed it
are
already? He
scanning.
did. He's a big boy.
Do you get over? If you're doing.
Nah, I think I can blink.
So much more.
Double damage.
He just got popped.
You have a refresher right now, so we'll find out. Maybe if we get that fuck, they're overwhelming our Arcane Blink.
Yeah. And now,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, I have really no place in Radiant. Raping twice, can't come in Radiant twice.
They kind of have to wait for them to come high ground.
And even if we kill them twice,
Radiant
his accept on
structures
Raven
are
can still give 70 seconds. I didn't know it gives attack speed and movement speed. Maybe the ring the heroes. Is it every reason? Don't think so. Must have been it for a while.
Radiant's
70
top
attacks.
tower
That's
is
a
under
lot.
attack.
That's a lot.
Radiant's top tower
There goes the
has
tower.
fallen.
Especially movement speed. 25 is no joke.
Radiant's top
Back from
tower
the
is under
Volbeat.
attack.
We're trying to clear that lane.
So assuming everybody exploded, who is better? I still think Radiant is probably going to win it.
Great.
I mean, Dire, sorry.
Well, I think Void when it transitions more into getting some damage. On the
Yeah, it's
core.
just like, how do you ever farm enough to be really relevant in that kind of late game? Give your health, link into it. Like, you deal no damage with it here right now.
Radiant are scanning.
Maybe he gets lucky, jumps in with step, gets full flash.
Potentially. And Rapier picked up. He's
Reaper?
got it.
Yeah, IDC doesn't care.
No, he does not.
He deals a ton of damage. So one Gemini attack, like a double, triple crit on like the Wind Ranger, he's gone.
Perfect chrono. This time you don't catch him, he can output a lot of damage.
However, do you lose me?
These are also effects.
I am a fact filler. In fact.
All these facts.
Yeah.
Just made it tell.
You know, yesterday I had an Invoker game,
Yeah.
and I killed a tornado and said Mr. Twister. Mr. Twister, 5 tornado kills. I should have seen it myself, and it was so funny. No twisters in this game. I stop this maybe. Okay. Twist. And not a smoke. Really quiet though.
Yeah. And see from both sides. You've got level 25 now for Somnus.
He went for the what? One reduction. Okay. Doom.
Went
Going.
3 for Doom.
Doom is gonna go for 150% cleave, obviously.
Used for SAG, and let's see if they can catch anybody. You got a idea of where they are.
Get careful, Alina, man. Oh, this is so scared of positioning. It's like in the creep wave.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Making me nervous.
Oh, Cliff, they didn't reverse time.
What can I say? Nature loves me.
Cliff Goku.
He's about to be level 25.
Yeah. AoE talent.
Chrono, your team.
He's no
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's so big.
Yeah.
Just Chrono all 10 heroes. That's certainly possible.
See it again.
What? Chrono all 10 heroes?
Oh, that's so big.
Dire's bottom tower is under
They're getting the
attack.
high ground, alright.
No chill.
Look at the damage on the tower.
They give no chill.
Oh, man.
You went back for another hit. Go back for another.
87 Alright.
I didn't let him fall.
Oh, the shackle! Perfect! Alright, look at him in! Gonna land on the red panda, the look for the chrono. Oh, it's only this Grimstroke. That's gonna be the damage is big. Now we've got the soul pine and the shackle. Got the lockdown and the damage gonna kill him. It's gonna get some Goku away with Bikini. He's being by IDC as well. 7E. They'll take it up first life from this King. Just blink away, yanking him with the equal on him. That's gonna pull right out of the stat fire. Top log in. They've got the Doom out of the Weaver. He needs to get out because he's got that Divine Rapier. He has to hold it, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to follow up that kill on a Weaver.
If he had that axe Doom, he would have burned out there.
Yeah.
But he did not. So we just lose Yang 470. Man, they were so aggressive on SAG here. Actually insane.
Forcing a move. I'm super impressed with something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we can just see it here again. He got cooked further into the base.
And this chrono could have been devastating.
Yeah. If he had the talent there.
If he had the talent, I think...
they're both in.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
140 radius is...
I always have a hard time visioning radius like that.
Yeah, because it's like double, pretty much.
But it was just on the Grimstroke. That's just...
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Look at the damage they're doing. And it's disgusting.
It is. Yeah.
70 lit up by the dead dude.
He's gonna go for another raid here. Let's go. He also found a leveler.
They're moving in. That's going to land on Asandis. Asandis healed up, but he's slapped out of yellow type. Got himself a full ball with the right coming out from the earth. Taking on a demo. The reincarnation is going to pop the BKB being popped here by IDC. You remember how much
you're taking a lot of damage.
Splitter coming in. BKB did pop. It's going to be knocked. He'll go to the shower. Raven trying to keep you. Just surviving. Okay, first time off. Gets right back to death from Sonic. Sonic's going to lose his life to IDC. IDC maybe looking over a red panda who's going to use himself. He dropped back down to earth and killed.
He critted him for 600 damage in the face.
God.
If anything dies there, he has no buyback. That was so close.
He's 3,000 short of buyback.
Did you see that? Like the cookie connected at like the last millisecond of KB availability.
Yeah.
Oh, Roshan's up though.
Look how fast it's going to drop.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
When I isn't stunned by Roche. There it goes. From Elephant's word of 4?
Refresher now in faces both.
So now you have 2 opportunities.
And 24 Chrono AoE talent. However, Weaver had to get rid of the Dragonlance. Attack 125. Chrono AoE 640.
Axe to be devoured? To eat?
On whom?
Lina?
No.
No. Holding it right now. Holding it for them.
It's not that good.
So they're going to buy back on Red Panda.
Someone's going to hold it if you can. Oh, he's done himself or something.
Eurus needs to be careful. Scatter passes to Goku. Time walk in, time walk out.
IDC.
Brings himself around. Duel on IDC. And look at the soul behind. Look at the jump in. Then goes the sun coming up from Yang. The Jackson kill IDC. He's got the Aegis. So he's got a second chance at this to try and get the advantage out. They've got the Shadow Grave that's going to be up to Yang, but the Jackson going to he's been up in what? So he'll fall. He'll drop the jet. He's dead. And then boy, they're going to go to IDC and they'll drop themselves to the Divine Rapier.
Something. Eurus now to Divine Rapier.
Man, that's a lot of death coming out for Eurus, but the scatter blast that's going to be thrown forward onto Eurus. The buybacks come out from multiple heroes on the side of SAG. Well, as Red Panda being dead for 103, and Yang, he's back with the buyback.
He bought back on IDC. I'm not sure why.
It's just not.
Would have been not great because he lost the Rapier, but at least he would have been very close to another Rapier.
Yeah.
Now he's only got 2k gold. Just look at the damage coming out from him. Way too aggressive this time around from IDC.
He's a bit forward, and Son Goku never gets a good chrono off.
He's missing an attack from a Dragon Lance. It's really big for him. Inkswell, Doomstomp, he dies, and Wave just absolutely claps his forehead after he comes back. So look at that here. Respawns, focus back on the Weaver, and he just dies in a second. Eurus just absolutely destroys him. That was a crit bash. Crit bash on the head, gone. And that was before Rapier.
Very difficult to get a Divine Rapier at the hands of the early game.
Yeah, especially with the axe scepter. And then he's going high ground again. Wow!
Selena did eat the Ags.
He did. Would have much rather like to see it on the...
They're going to move forward. Time dilation. Right click scene. Yang got stunned. On his way. The blink in. Down the jab. It's not going to be enough. IDC ends up dropping. They've got one of his pieces. He's going to get up on Eurus. Oh, it's close. The shallow grave is there. Fly. We'll see his life. And the blink forward coming out from Silence with the BKB. They've got Silence on Son Goku. Getting run down here with the focus fire coming out from Silence. They'll get the gun to Son Goku. He's dead for 2 minutes. Doesn't have 5x7. He does, and he'll use it. But this is not looking good. Elephant took that fight 4v5 and still came out clean.
I mean, it's just a massive amount of inexperience coming in here. Like, trying to force high ground against the Rapier Rave King like that, when your Reaver doesn't really have any sort of damage anymore. And he just died in 1 second. Doom jumps in with Inkswell again. Flawless combination from Elephant. But yeah, I said, I would chalk that down to pure inexperience.
Yeah.
Like, there's even a first initiation onto the high ground where Weaver chased in between the barracks. Way too deep with the Divine Rapier. And now just go through back the protection, which was recently also buffed by 10%.
It's just not enough.
Maybe it is.
They've got a minute though.
A
lot of time. Yeah. And they should just go to tier 4s and finish this.
And if they want to defend Eurus with this Blink, Whistle, you're going to get blown up.
They'll go to the glyph.
Shadow Nina. Try to mount some sort of defense.
Middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
And there's the Infernal Blade coming through
Huge damage on the buildings.
And they're not going to be able to stop this. Here, the Lincolns get combo. But you're going to be thrown over out of the creature. Got the Shadow Grave once again from FY. It just does not pick enough as they'll get the kill and GG is called. So, Elephant, he looked good from SAG. Elephant looking a little shit. He didn't say season 1, but they show the experience difference. And that's what gets them the victory.
Yeah, but as you said, it did not look pretty.
No,
I think their draft was quite a bit